America, a nation of young people on the move, a free nation, moving toward the future with confidence and determination. This is America, where happiness is our heritage and strength is our responsibility to the future. Most young people spend a lot of time thinking about what they will be when they are older. Teacher, artist, housewife, designer. But no matter what you decide, you also will want to be attractive, radiate confidence and good health, be skillful and energetic, and have lots of friends and interests. Now, while you are still growing and maturing, is the time to begin developing these qualities. And the foundation on which to build is a strong, healthy, active body. All of your objectives will be easier to reach if you are physically fit. Does your physical exercise program at present provide you with adequate exercise? If not, there's a simple, easy way for you to get the exercise your body needs. The President's Council on Physical Fitness has prepared a complete exercise plan for girls between the ages of 12 and 18. This plan has been designed especially for you to help improve your appearance and strength, your stamina and coordination. It takes only a few minutes a day and requires no special equipment. If you are physically fit, you'll look better physically and perform better mentally. Your body will be trimmer and more graceful. Do you know that when you are 12 years old, your body is more than 1/3 muscle? The human body contains more than 600 muscles. We all know that ordinary movements like running, jumping, and bending are made possible by muscles. Did you know that you couldn't eat or breathe without your muscles? They suck air into your lungs and push food along your digestive tract. They tighten your blood vessels and raise your blood pressure when you need more pressure for an emergency. And your heart is a muscle pump. When your muscles are not used enough, they do not function properly. They soon become flabby and weak and lose their ability to do the jobs they were meant to do. Regular exercise can help you. It also strengthens your heart and lungs. Your heartbeat grows stronger and your breathing becomes deeper. Your blood flow increases and wastes are removed from your body, lessening complexion problems. Exercise helps to solve weight problems too. An excess of 100 calories a day, the amount contained in just 8 ounces of carbonated drink, can produce a gain of 10 pounds a year. Yet those extra calories could be burned up by a 15 to 20-minute daily walk. The answer then is not to let yourself get fat in the first place. Don't avoid nourishing foods in the mistaken belief that this will keep you trim. Eat properly and get plenty of exercise. Both are essential to good health, a clear skin, and a trim figure. If you do need to lose weight, ask your health teacher or your doctor about a safe diet. Follow it faithfully and get regular exercise. You'll feel better and be a far more attractive person. And there is no scientific basis for the belief still held by some that exercise will damage a healthy heart. A famous heart specialist recently said, the best insurance against coronary disease is exercise. Lots of it. 55% of all deaths in the United States are the result of diseases of the heart and circulatory system. At your age, you are not worried about having a heart attack. But now is the best time to begin building insurance against a heart attack in later life. The exercise plan for girls prepared by the President's Council on Physical Fitness is designed to condition all of the body's major muscle groups, strengthen the heart and lungs, and improve posture. Don't worry about developing heavy, bulging muscles. You won't. The plan's basic workout provides a program of exercise that will slim and smooth the contours of your figure. As the muscles of your abdomen and back become stronger and more elastic, they will provide better support. Every move you make will be easier and more graceful. In short, you will be well on your way to becoming the poised, attractive, and interesting young lady you would like to be. Remember, there is a muscle behind every curve. Your basic workout contains 10 exercises. For best results, you should do this basic workout 5 times a week. One of the exercises, running in place, is repeated 4 times. Easy exercises are alternated with difficult ones. Once you start your workout, don't stop to rest until you have completed it. This will require your heart, lungs, and muscles to work continuously and will produce more rapid improvements in strength, endurance, and appearance. But use good judgment, too. If you have difficulty doing all of the exercises continuously, stop for a brief rest, then complete them. Before you begin, at your age, you need have no fear of permanent injury or damage to your heart if you are normally healthy. However, if you have not had a checkup recently, or if you have any kind of health problem, check with your family doctor and your parents before you start the exercises in the basic workout and before engaging in any strenuous activity. The first exercise in your basic workout is run in place done at slow speed. Jog in place, raising each foot at least 4 inches off the floor. Count 1 for each time your left foot strikes the floor. When you have reached the count of 50, you have completed exercise number 1. The run-in-place exercise is repeated throughout your basic workout as you reach exercises 5, 9, and 13. Exercise 5. Your speed increases from slow to moderate as you count 1 each time your left foot strikes the floor until you reach the count of 50. Exercise 9 requires 25 slow, then an increase in speed as you do 50 fast. Then you finish the exercise with another 25 slow. Exercise 13 requires you to slowly run in place until you reach the count of 50. Exercise 2 is the twister. You will complete 5 twisters each way. Begin by standing erect. Place hands on hips and feet shoulder width apart. 1. Bend forward from waist. 2. Twist trunk to the right. 3. Bend trunk backward. 4. Twist trunk to the left. Repeat exercise 2 to the right until 5 twisters have been completed, and then do 5 more to the left. Exercise 3 is named the robot. You will repeat the robot 20 times to complete exercise 3. First, you stand erect. Place hands on hips and feet shoulder width apart. 1. Bend trunk to the right, reaching your hand as far down your right leg as possible. 2. Return to starting position. 3. Bend trunk to the left, reaching as far down your left leg as possible. 4. Return to starting position. Continue to bend and reach to the right and to the left until you have completed a total of 20 robots. Exercise 4 in your basic workout is called the windmill, which you will repeat 10 times. Stand erect, spread feet apart, and extend hands sideward at shoulder level, palms down. 1. Bend and twist trunk, touching right hand to left foot. 2. Return to starting position. 3. Bend and twist trunk to touch left hand to right foot. 4. Return to starting position. Continue with the windmill until you have completed a total of 10. Exercise 5 is a repetition of the first exercise run in place, but you will now increase your speed from slow to moderate. Remember to lift your feet at least 4 inches off the floor as you jog 50 times to complete exercise 5. Exercise 6 is the wing stretcher. Stand erect as you begin. Raise elbows to shoulder height and clench hands in front of chest. 1. Thrust elbows back vigorously, without arching back. Keep elbows at shoulder height and keep your head up. 2, return to starting position. Repeat the wing stretcher 15 times to complete the exercise. Exercise 7, called a propeller, is repeated 10 times each way to complete the exercise. Begin by standing erect, arms at sides, feet parallel and 1 foot apart. Swing arms sideward and upward in full arcs, crossing them at height of swing and continuing around to starting position. Count 1 for every complete revolution. Do 10 propellers in one direction, then reverse your action and repeat the exercise 10 times in the opposite direction. The next exercise, number 8, is the knee push-up, which is to be repeated 10 times. Lie face down, legs together. Hands on floor under shoulders with fingers pointing straight ahead. Bend knees at right angle with feet raised off the floor. 1. Push upper body off the floor until arms are fully extended and your body is in a straight line from head to knees. 2. Return to starting position. Repeat these knee push-ups until you have done exercise 8 a total of 10 times. Exercise 9 is a further repetition of the run in place. Repeated 25 times at a slow jog as you begin, increasing your speed to fast for 50 repetitions, and then slackening to a slow jog again for the final 25 repetitions, which complete the exercise. Exercise 10 is the airlift. You will do 10 airlifts to complete this exercise. Begin by standing erect. Feet together, arms at sides. 1. Lift arms sideward and upward while rising on toes and taking a slow, deep breath. 2. Exhale slowly and completely while you return to starting position. Keep your back straight as you continue exercise 10 until you have completed 10 airlifts. Exercise 11 in your basic workout is the sit-up. 15 repetitions are required. Lie on your back, legs straight and together, arms extended beyond your head. 1. Bring arms forward overhead, rolling up to a sitting position and sliding hands along your legs to grasp ankles. 2. Roll back to starting position. Continue with this exercise until you have completed 15 sit-ups. The next exercise, number 12, is the sidewinder and is repeated 10 times with each leg. To get into your starting position, lie on right side with head resting on right arm. 1. Lift left leg as high as possible. 2. Lower leg to starting position. Repeat to the count of 10 sidewinders. Then reverse your position and repeat exercise 12 10 times on your other side. The final exercise in your basic workout is a further repetition of the run in place, repeated 50 times at slow speed. When you have reached the count of 50, you have completed all of the required exercises for your basic workout. Try to work out at the same time every day. Any time is all right, except for immediately after meals. Make exercise a part of your daily routine. Get a copy of Vim and start doing the exercises illustrated in the basic workout right now. Show it to your friends. It's fashionable to be fit and exercising can be fun. If the exercises seem difficult at first, don't get discouraged. Stick to your daily schedule. Gradually you'll discover a new ease in doing your exercises and a new spring in your step. And you'll find other interesting information in Vim too, like special exercises to help you improve your figure And more strenuous exercises for those of you who might want to go beyond the basic workout level. To get your copy of Vim, write to U.S. Government Printing Office, Division of Public Documents, Washington, D.C., 20402. And remember, in your daily activities, sit tall, stand tall, and walk tall. People who are attractive, vigorous, and successful don't develop these qualities by accident. It requires self-discipline and hard work. But as you make the effort, you'll feel yourself becoming the person you want to be, and you'll know it's worth it.
I hope you got something good to eat tonight. Hi, Mom. The coach really gave us a workout. Oh, boy, ham! I'm so hungry I could eat a neutral and see what he gave us to do.
Sure.
Huh?
Could you serve yourself in a less athletic manner?
Oh. Is this better?
Jack, at least you could manage to be on time. After your mother goes to all the trouble to prepare a fine meal, it's only common courtesy, Chuck.
I know, but I couldn't help it. I was late home from school.
Never mind. He did wash up and brush his hair. By the way, Chuck, I saw Barbara's mother downtown. That's quite a supper party she's planning.
Is it this Friday?
I'm not going.
Why not?
Do I have to have a reason?
But all your friends will be there.
I don't call. I'm not going.
Chuck, don't talk with your mouth full.
Good night, Chuck.
Good night. Have a good time.
Thank you, Chuck.
Night,
Good night.
Oh, who wants to go to a supper party?
You do, Chuck.
Huh? Who are you?
We're looking into the future, Chuck. I am the young man you are going to be in a few short years.
Well, if you say so.
And take it from me, when we're my age, we won't be turning down invitations.
Oh, maybe not.
Tell me, why aren't you going?
I don't know.
I do. You're worried about not doing the right thing. Your table manners.
Now you're talking like Mom and Dad.
Look, you may not care much about table manners now, but when you grow up to be me, then you'll care.
But why? Why does it matter?
For several reasons. Look, maybe I can show you. Let's imagine the family at dinner with nobody minding his manners. Not very pretty, is it? Each person busy feeding his face, showing no consideration for the others. People become irritated, angry. No one can enjoy a meal like this. No. Mealtime is a time for pleasure and relaxation. It's the best opportunity the family has to talk together, exchange bits of news, make plans. When everybody eats properly, the meal goes better, and everybody has more fun. What's more, when we relax and enjoy ourselves, we digest our food better. And ask your doctor if that isn't important to your health. But there's more.
What's that?
How long now before you'll be going out to make your own way in the world?
Not very long, I guess.
And whatever you do, wherever you go, you'll want to put your best foot forward. Here, let's try another trick. Let's change that to a table in a restaurant. You're taking a girl out to dinner. To make a good impression, you must know what to do. Who seats the girl? When you sit? How to order your meal? Of course, the girl wants to know these things too, in order to show herself at her best. Then you must know how to eat your meal. And the only way to have good table manners when you want them is to practice them regularly at home. Get in a habit of eating properly, so it just comes naturally. Or take another case. Say you're having lunch with your boss. Say he's thinking about somebody to fill a good position that's opening up. Well, put yourself in the boss's place. Would you give the job to a fellow like this, or to a fellow who thinks that table manners are silly? You see what I mean about putting your best foot forward? Table manners are important because people judge many things about you just by the way you eat.
All right, maybe so, but it's all so complicated.
Is it? Look, there's nobody here. Let's try it out.
What do you mean?
Come on. Besides, that supper party sounds good. If we know what to do, I think we'll want to go.
Well...
Look sharp now. There. There is a place setting properly arranged.
It looks all right, but what am I supposed to do? That's the question.
Well, what would you do if you sat down to dinner and found 3 forks, like this?
I'd probably end up with one left over and wonder what I did wrong.
Not if you remember one simple rule. Always use silverware from the outside in. So, starting from the outside, use this for your salad, this for your main course, and this...
Why, that one must be for the dessert.
You see? It's easy.
But there's something funny here. Doesn't the butter knife belong here?
Well, the book says either place. And speaking of the book, it wouldn't hurt you to use one sometime and check up on any points that you're not sure of.
Sure, we have some books in school, but I'll have to be careful who sees me reading it.
Don't worry, you can manage that. And now to use these things. Let's have some food. Say, it's too bad you've just eaten.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Things will be easier if you'll remember that in eating, there are 3 kinds of food. Finger foods, fork foods, and spoon foods. Now, clean, dry foods, bread is one of them, are finger foods. But when you have something that's messy or sticky, you better use a fork.
Yeah, like a cream puff?
That's the idea. Now, fork foods include meats, potatoes, vegetables, salads, and many others. There's a right way to hold a fork, and this is it. Don't put onto your fork any more than 1 mouthful of food. Oh, yes, after you've placed food on your fork, if you decide to talk, lay it down until you're ready to eat. It looks better. And this is the way to park a fork, after you've used it.
Not propped up on the edge of the plate, huh?
That's the idea. Here, now you try it.
Okay.
Now, with some fork foods, we need a knife. Let's see how you use it.
The folks say I do it wrong.
Hey, that's not only the wrong way, it's the hard way. Here, try this. Put the ends of both the handles in the palms of your hands, like that. Hold the meat with your fork and cut the meat. Don't tear it apart.
Say, this is better.
You see? Good table manners are just common sense.
Is that right?
Yes, that's the way most people in America handle their knife and fork. We don't have to worry with the European method. But now, after you've finished eating,
I have.
you place your knife and fork this way to show that you have finished.
But what about spoon foods?
Oh, yes. All right. How do you manage soup?
Hi, you don't fool me on this one. You never tip the bowl, and you dip the soup away from you. Not too much in the spoon, and you eat from the side of the spoon.
Precisely. And now, would you care for some turnips?
Oh, turnips. You know I can't bear... no, thank you.
That's the idea, Chuck. Courtesy, consideration for others, common sense. That's what table manners are.
You mean that's all there is to table manners, just what we've talked about?
Oh, no. But you already know a great deal. And you can learn still more by watching Mother and Dad and other people who have good manners. But the main thing is...
The main thing is to practice at home so that table manners will come naturally and I won't have to think about them when I'm out.
You can't miss. Oh, let's do the dishes.
Mother should see that.
Well, Chuck, are we going to that party?
Sure we are. We are.
That's right, Chuck. We are going to the party. You can't see me any longer, but remember, I'm the fellow you're going to be. So I'm interested in seeing that you always make a good impression. This really isn't hard, is it? You know what to do. That's right. Ladies first into the dining room. And now what? Right again. Find your place and remain standing. You see, Chuck, it's easy to do the right thing if you remember courtesy, consideration of others, and common sense. And also remember, you're here not to see how much or how fast you can eat, but to have a good time. Well, our boy is doing all right. Don't you think so? Don't you think you can do the same?
Get your window. Come on. Let's go. Get your window out.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
That boy's face, Charlie Green's boy, with a gang of toughs. Be a shock to Charlie. Hard on the boy, too, if he's picked up. Maybe I didn't really see who it was. No, not right to hide him. If he gets away this time, he'll get in worse trouble later. Besides, it's my job to turn him in.
Right or wrong, the watchman has made his decision. A moral decision. Like other moral decisions, it will have an effect on other people, make them also choose right from wrong. Every decision we make, every action we take, affects the lives of others around us. So, as you watch a chain of decisions in this film, try to see how various people decide what is right. Try to judge their decisions. The film will not judge. That's up to you.
We'll pick him up. Okay.
What is it?
Oh,
Harry Green live here.
Harry in trouble?
Is he in?
What's he done? He hasn't done anything wrong. Not really wrong. He couldn't. Say he isn't here. Cover up. But if the police want him, if he's done something...
Well, lady.
Can't help him by hiding him.
He's here. Come in.
Look, Mr. Kastner, the boy your watchman saw at your warehouse has no record. He's scared silly. Suppose we arrange for the boy to replace the windows.
Officer, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get out of bed and come down here because of the few dollars the windows would cost. That isn't important. What is important is the vandalism in this neighborhood. Warehouses, homes, cars, stores. And through this boy, we have a chance to get at a whole gang and break it up.
But the boy won't talk. He won't tell us who the others were. And besides, he says that he didn't throw anything.
But he's our only chance to get at this gang of vandals. Hold him anyway. I'll sign a complaint if necessary. Might help just to bring him to trial.
All right. I'll talk to him some more. And then I'll get in touch with you. Good night, Mr. Kastner.
Good night, Sergeant.
Get him to talk. Get tough with him. Scare him. You can make him talk. No. Then he'd hate the cops. Turn against them. Make a regular gangster out of him. Come on in, Harry. Come on in. Close the door. You're in a spot, boy. I guess you know that. Don't you want to sit down? Serious charge against you.
What charge?
Vandalism. Willful and malicious destruction of property.
You mean...
Sit down, boy. Look, Harry. This fellow's going to sign a complaint against you. He won't be satisfied with simply letting you pay for the window you broke.
I didn't break his window.
Who did? It'll be much easier for you if you'll help us. Tell us who was with you. Just exactly what happened. You'll get off much easier.
Get off easier. Tell what happened. Squeal on the others.
Well, boy, you want to talk? Okay. I won't ask you again. There's a fella coming over from your church. Your mother sent him. Name's Barker. You can wait over there till he gets here.
Harry, Mr. Barker. Sorry it took me so long to get here. You can come home with me now.
Thanks, Sergeant. I'll bring him back in the morning. Come on, Harry.
Well, Harry?
I didn't break any windows.
But someone did. Sit down, Harry. Want something to eat? You sure? Oh, I left a note for your father. When he gets home from work this morning, he'll probably stop by. Harry, I think I know you pretty well. I think you really didn't break any windows. But we'll have a hard time proving that in court, unless some of the others who were there speak up for you.
Can't you see? I can't tell you who was there. It isn't right to squeal on your friends. You haven't got any right to ask me.
You can sleep here tonight, Harry. I'll get a pillow and blanket.
Aren't you going to ask me any more questions?
Just one. Is it right to hide a lawbreaker from justice?
Harry's problem is far from solved. It's not the purpose of this film to solve his problem. That's up to you. Discover and apply your moral standards. Think of the decisions yet to be made, of the decisions already made. Judge them in the light of your standards. What is right and wrong? Did you agree with Harry's decisions? Would you have done the same? What about the night watchman? How did he decide what was right? Would you have done what he did? What did Harry's mother do that revealed her sense of right and wrong? Did you agree with her? Would you have taken Mr. Kastner's stand? Would you, in Sergeant Kelly's place, have forced Harry to talk for his own good? Suppose you were in Mr. Barker's shoes. How would you have helped Harry? How would you have decided what was right? What if you had Harry's problem? How would you work it out? It's your story now. You decide what is right.
Through the day-to-day exchange of ideas, a class sets and maintains standards for its members.
An essential part of every marriage is keeping promises. One must keep promises through thick or thin, otherwise the marriage breaks up. Now, it's interesting to see what the law says about minimum age for marriage, the age at which people can be expected to keep promises. Now, here's an example. This is Susie, age 13, and Bernie, age 14. Are they old enough to get married?
No.
Well, if they lived in the state of New Hampshire and had their parents' consent, they could get married. But if they lived in their neighboring state of Vermont, they would have to wait 3 years, even with parental consent.
You mean the laws of the states don't agree?
That's right. Now, here's another example. Now, this is Ruth, age 20, and Henry, age 20. Are they old enough to get married?
Sure.
Without their parents' consent?
Sure.
If they lived in Idaho, Michigan, or the Carolinas, they could get married. But in all the other states, one or both would have to have their parents' consent first.
Why, that's crazy. If the laws don't agree, how do you expect our parents and others to agree?
Well, uniform marriage laws are needed. But there are other factors to be considered, too.
I don't think age has anything to do with it. It all depends if one is ready for marriage.
What do you mean by being ready?
Maybe a lot of being ready depends upon how your friends and your folks think about your marriage.
Well, if Jerry's right, Andy and I sure weren't ready for marriage.
You know, we feel sort of sorry for Connie and Andy's parents. Andy's dad sort of got left out.
He feels left out, too.
Now I know.
Well, the church wedding is just a kind of well, I guess you'd call it a symbol that people were willing to help.
Yes, and the minister helped too. We still talk to him about some of our problems.
Yes, it's really readiness for marriage that counts, more than age. Let's remove the chart. Ed? So the first thing we can say about marriage readiness is approval and support. The
Remember, in our society, support and approval won't always be easy for teenage couples to get. Now, there are many other points about marriage readiness. What do you think of some of them?
Well, I think one important thing is to have good plans for an income and a home. Take Andy and me, for instance. I tried to get a job, and I couldn't because I didn't have any special skill or experience, and I couldn't earn enough. So Andy's working in a garage and going to night school.
Well, my brother got married a couple of years ago, and he said you just can't imagine how much it costs to buy groceries and things. Then they had a baby.
Yes, Joan?
It's kind of hard for me to say what I mean, but I think another point is knowing whether you really want to get married, whether you're in love or what do you call it, infatuated, or getting married for some other reason.
I know a girl who ran away and got married when she was only 15. She told me she did it because she couldn't stand it at home anymore.
You know, I think a lot of people get married just to be married. That's all girls think about, getting married and playing house.
Sure, girls want to get married. They think about a home of their own from the first grade on up. But it takes two to make a marriage, so you can't blame it all on girls.
That's an interesting observation. Home. Any questions?
Are there any tests that can be taken to show whether you're ready for marriage?
Well, what about mixed marriages? Like Catholic and Protestant?
I read in a book that in some countries, the bride and groom never see each other until the day of marriage. How does this work out?
Do short engagements or long engagements make for a happier marriage?
I think I want to be single. Is there anything wrong with that?
I think you're still in love with chemistry, Dale. You students who've been watching this film, you've heard the questions we're going to discuss. You may discuss the same questions in your class and ask any others you have in mind.
Mary, wait, please, Mary. I'm sorry, Mary.
Mary?
Yes, Mother.
Did you have a nice time, dear?
Very nice, thanks.
Well, you don't look much like a girl who's been out having a wonderful evening.
Oh, Mom.
No, here. Oh, what's the matter, dear?
Do you remember when you told me that I might
I might have such strong feelings about a boy that it might be hard for me to decide what's right to do.
Yes, I remember, but why?
Well, it was something like that tonight with Jeff. You know, I like him an awful lot, and we have such fun at dances. But tonight, the feeling between us kept getting stronger and stronger. On our way home, we stopped and parked. And then things seemed to happen. Too nearly. Well, it was so close. Suddenly I realized what we were about to do. I asked Jeff to take me home. I guess he felt ashamed, too. He said he was sorry, that it was his fault.
Do you think it was his fault?
Oh, Mother, I don't know what to think. I'm so mixed up. I don't know whether I even want to go out with Jeff again.
You know, dear, I was young once, too. Perhaps I can understand something of what you feel. First, well, it all seems quite a lark. You like someone, he likes you. Everything is fun and affection. Then, all at once, you can find yourself in a situation where your physical urges fight against your reason. Then those fine thoughts of love and affection can suddenly get twisted.
Mother, is it wrong to feel warm and affectionate when you're with a boy you really like?
No, dear, it is not wrong. Because this feeling can grow into a love that will last. It's the way happy marriages are built. But, Mary, if these strong feelings lead you into behaving unwisely, well, the outcome can be guilt and frustration. And these are the things that can spoil the chance of your finding the very love that you're looking for.
Then, Mother, how do you...
Come here, dear. In the height of emotion, it's not always easy to stop and think things through. But if you'll just slow down the rush and pressure of your feelings a little, then judgment has a better chance to take hold and guide you away from wrong behavior. When you can rely on judgment rather than emotion to rule your behavior, as you did tonight, then you'll really be grown up. I can help by talking things over with you and giving suggestions, but you'll have to work out your own best way to make emotions work for you and not against you.
Hi.
Hi.
Marianne, I'd just like to say I'm sorry about what happened last Saturday. It wasn't because I think of you as that kind of girl or anything like that. It's just that I don't know. You're so terrific, and we'd been together all evening, and I just don't know what happened to me.
It was just as much my fault as it was yours. I shouldn't have stayed out so late anyway.
You're the nicest girl I've ever met, and... Oh, we have so much fun together that I'd sure hate to ruin everything.
So would I.
Okay, now, is everything just about finished? The last spectacular issue of this year's Signpost has to be ready for the lucky students of Central High the day after tomorrow. Mary, how's that literary page shaping up?
It's not very spectacular. One story and one poem, and that's all.
Stu?
Just the pictures.
Yeah, we need more pictures, don't we?
Drawings would be cheaper. You know, if Eileen were still here, we'd be set. Well, she could whip up some great little cartoons in no time.
Poor Eileen. She's probably so busy looking after the baby, she's forgotten she could ever draw.
What, have they had the baby already?
Sure, 5 months after the wedding. How's that for a shotgun affair, eh?
Stu, don't be so crude.
I feel kind of sorry for Fred. He always wanted to be a lawyer.
Yeah. Now I guess he's got to keep any job just so he can look after Eileen and the baby.
Eileen was a real good friend of mine. Was I surprised when she left school? Gee. And then when she got married. Imagine being someone who has to marry you.
Well, this isn't solving our picture problem.
Hey, Terry, I got it. Eileen had a whole bunch of cartoons we didn't use last year. I bet we could use some of those.
Why didn't you think of that?
Just stupid, I guess.
Okay, everybody, same time tomorrow afternoon. Gotta rush through the proof reading, and then we're finished.
Yeah, until the party. It's one of us to let us use your house, Terry.
Let's get the paper up before we start thinking about the party.
We'll see you tomorrow, then.
Okay, take it easy. Still, I'll see you later, huh?
Well, Jeff.
Mary? How'd you like to go to the party with me Friday night?
Okay, Jeff. Maybe we could double date with Marge and Stu. They'd probably like a ride over.
Yeah, sure. Come on, I'll walk you home.
Jeff, isn't that Eileen?
Yeah, sure is. Baby and all.
Gee, I haven't seen her since she left school.
That looks like Mary and Jeff. I wonder if they'll say hello to me. Maybe they'll cross the street so they won't have to.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Nice to see you again.
Oh, look at her. Eileen, she's sweet. Blonde like you, huh?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Susan Elizabeth.
Oh, that's a darling name. Susie. Is she a lot of trouble, Eileen?
Well, it's tiring, but it's not too bad when Fred gives me a hand. Of course, he's not used to babies, but he's a real whiz at changing diapers. You should see him. Of course, he just adores Susie. He'd do anything for her. When she goes off, he wants to give her everything. Buy her nice clothes and send her to college.
Say, how's Fred getting along anyway? I hear he's got a job at the steel mill.
Oh, Fred's doing just fine. Of course, it's not the kind of job he'd planned on, but still, he enjoys it. He really looks forward to going to work every morning. He says it's a lot better than school, and he's making a lot of money.
It's nice he's doing so well. Why don't we ever see you anymore?
Oh, well, we don't seem to get out much. Of course, having an apartment of your own keeps you kind of busy. Besides, we both enjoy spending a quiet evening together at home.
Well, it sounds as if things are working out okay for you and Fred, eh?
Oh, yes, we're getting along just fine. Only sometimes I wish we had had more time to work things out.
The kids up at the sign sing about you today. They all wish you were there this year to do the artwork. There's nobody there that can do it as well.
Oh. I sure miss the gang and all the fun we used to have in school.
The last issue's coming out in a couple of days. We're having a big wind-up party at Terry's place on Friday.
Well, I think we'd better be going now, Mary. Well, nice to see you again, Eileen. Say hello to Fred for me, will you, please?
Sure. It was nice seeing you again, Eileen.
Bye.
Sure
Goodbye
nice
now.
seeing you.
So the gang's having a party. They'll have a lot of fun.
Oh, Jeff, isn't it a wonderful night?
Yeah, you're pretty wonderful too, Mary. You know, we've been going for quite a while now, haven't we? You're the nicest girl I've ever met, Mary. Mary, Mary, would you wear my school ring?
Yes, Jeff.
Well, come on, let's go back and dance. Huh?
Good night, Terry. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Mary. Good
night,
night,
Helen.
Helen. Hey, Marge, Stu, huh?
Good night, Harry. Swell party. Good night, Helen.
Bye.
Hey, Stu, I hate to break things up, but we're at Marge's house.
Oh. Here already? Well, why don't we go to the point and park a while, eh?
No, I think this is the end of the line, Stu.
Well, what's the matter? Half the kids will be up there.
No, come on, Stu.
Boy, did you turn out to be a pill. Well, what's the matter? Well, can't you go along with everyone else? Don't you and Mary like each other anymore or something?
Clear out, Stu, huh?
Come on, Marge.
Good night, Jeff. Thanks for the ride.
And don't wait for me.
Guess I must be pretty popular with them.
Lights are on. I guess Mom and Dad are still up. How'd you like to come in and have a sandwich? They'd be glad to see you.
Yeah, sure.
Good. Mom and Dad went out with the Wilsons. They won't be back until about 2. Well, what would you like on your sandwich?
Oh, I don't mind. Anything would be fine. How about you?
Oh, I don't care. You say.
Well, what you got?
I've got ham, tomato, cucumber, and bacon, and peanut butter. We've got a whole restaurant.
If you'll just slow down the rush and pressure of your feelings a little, then judgment has a better chance to take hold.
We have so much fun together that I'd sure hate to ruin everything.
We get the blood test and the license tomorrow, and then as soon as the waiting period's over, we'll...
My.
But you hardly know each other.
We know enough, Daddy. We've both gone out with a lot of other people, and, well, it's never been like this before. We know it's right.
Well, I can take care of her. My job's not much now, but it's got a great future.
But so soon. No time to look forward or to plan.
But, Mother, we have planned to be married.
Your mother and I aren't saying no. You're old enough to know what you want, if you give yourselves time to be sure. All we want you to do is take the time.
Daddy? Mother? We don't want to hurt your feelings, but we just don't see the point.
Well, let me put it this way. Jim, tell me everything you know about Judy.
Well, she's 19. Her birthday's in June. She's a secretary. She likes pizza. She's a great dancer. Beautiful girl.
Everything you say is true, Jim. You haven't mentioned anything you couldn't live with for the rest of your life. But even with someone as wonderful as Judy, there may be some things you don't know about.
Daddy, I haven't been putting on an act or feeding Jim a line.
Judy, darling, you too, Jim. We know you haven't been putting on an act, but being in love is such a wonderful experience that it changes you at first, or seems to. It's hard to explain.
It is hard to explain that the magic of being in love won't last forever. Strong physical attraction can blind you to serious faults or make you see virtues that do not exist. Sometimes romance bears no resemblance to reality.
Am I making any sense at all?
You're saying wait. A long engagement.
No, Judy, that isn't it. We're not asking you just to wait. We're asking you to find out if you like each other as much as you love each other.
Jim?
Well, it won't take very long to find that out. I guess we could wait a while if it'll make you and Judy's mother happier.
You see? Isn't he wonderful?
Well now, isn't this something? Give credit to Jim and Judy for deciding to wait. But don't be misled into believing that waiting in itself proves you're ready for marriage. You must make a conscious effort to be realistic about each other if you're to make the best use of an engagement period. And Judy and Jim aren't ready for that. In spite of themselves, they will go on seeing each other through rose-colored glasses. Dating is like that. You date for the first time expecting to enjoy yourself. You enjoy yourself and you date again, and so on and on. There's a party atmosphere about everything you do, and with the party atmosphere, party manners.
Okay, here goes.
Atta girl, sweetie pie.
Sweetie pie.
You're going to get the hang of this yet, sweetie pie.
You bet I will, sport.
Now, just watch how I special.
Party manners require you to overlook minor annoyances. He sees her as a girl who doesn't mind being called sweetie pie. She allows him to go on thinking something that isn't true. Both are contributing to a picture of her which isn't realistic. The situation works both ways, of course.
All right.
Oh, look, there's a phone.
You really want to stop?
Sure.
Okay.
Hello, Mother. Jim and I are going to the lake instead of to the bowling alley like we said.
Gee, talk about apron strings.
Okay, Mom. Goodbye. There, that didn't take long. And doesn't it make you feel better?
Oh, sure.
Party manners require you to be agreeable, even if you don't agree. She sees him as one who has no objection to her close family ties, and he says nothing to indicate his disapproval. So both of them are helping to establish a picture of him which isn't accurate. In courtship, we're always on our good behavior, avoiding any reaction which might be unpleasant. For example, Jim has a dinner date with Judy for 6 o'clock.
Oh, Jim, I'm so sorry.
Well, that's okay. I knew you were trying to get here.
Oh, I was. Mother and I went shopping, and, well, the time just evaporated. Jim, I know I should have kept better track of the time, but Mother was picking out a dress to wear to our wedding.
That's okay, sweetie pie, as long as you're here.
Are you ready to be served now?
Yes.
Reality will never enter the picture as long as people sidestep opportunities to let their real feelings come out in the open. How then is time going to make any difference to Judy and Jim, or to any couple who is dating seriously? Time makes a difference because it usually presents opportunities for couples to work as well as play together. Maybe the work is only an unexpected job which comes up when you borrow Dad's car for the day. Nevertheless, watching someone at work can give you insights you never had before. Time also makes a difference because eventually the really important matters have a way of cropping up.
It would have been a good buy, but I had to pass it up. Down to my last $5 and payday isn't even in sight yet.
You know, I don't even know when your payday is.
The first.
The first? Well, that's 10 days away.
Don't I know it?
Well, we can forget about the ice show.
Oh, no, we won't. Already have the tickets. Best seats in the house.
Jim?
Huh?
How much do you make?
Well, here's my check stub. It'll be bigger next month when my automatic increase comes through.
Jim, every time we double date with Pete and Rena, you grab the check. I thought you made lots more than this.
Well, my dad's always good for a loan and awful absent-minded about asking for it back.
We can't expect to go on doing that after we're married. Looks
can't expect to go on doing a lot of things.
Oh, worry. Hey, that's better. Oh, we'll do all right, sweetie pie. With your pay in mind.
Jim, I sort of thought you'd be the kind who didn't want his wife to work.
Well, it takes money to support a wife.
But...
No. Give me a kiss and enough of this yak. Well, where were we? Ah, popcorn.
No, with the yak. We've got some things to talk about.
Funny how well you can know someone and still find out new things when you take time to talk. You can find out what values people have by piecing together little things. What they say, how casual they are about money, about repaying what they borrow, about expecting wives to work. Values also become apparent in patterns of behavior.
Daddy and Mother have always lived on a budget.
Daddy and Mother again. An expression that's getting to be nearly as irritating as the fact that she's always late. That's why values make such a difference. It can be plenty irritating to discover that what's important to you isn't important to someone else. So irritating that it may someday lead to real friction.
Jim, you're already here.
I've been here since 4.
Oh, is that what time we said? I'm sorry. Did you get the clerk to show you the one I saw in the window?
Yes, and I've had plenty of time to look at some others, too. There. That one. That's the one.
Oh, it's fabulous, but...
No buts about it. If you're going to be late and picking out your rings, you're going to have to take what you get.
Oh, Jim, be serious. Those rings must cost a fortune.
I want my wife to have the best.
Well, shouldn't we be more practical?
Practical? About rings? Oh, look, this is no time to be a cheapskate.
Cheapskate?
Oh, I didn't mean it.
So I'm a cheapskate. Well, let me tell you something. Someone's going to have to be the way you are. Spending money as if it grew on trees, borrowing so you can put on a big show. My parents taught me to respect money.
Your parents. Your parents. Well, can't you talk for 2 minutes without bringing your parents in? We have to check with them every move we make. Well, I just as soon forget the whole... May I help you?
No, thank you.
Sweetie Pie.
And don't call me Sweetie Pie. I hate that name. First I thought I'd just call off the engagement. Just call it quits, but we can't do that.
Why not?
Oh, it'd kill me and him, too. We've just got to patch it up somehow.
Well, not if you're just patching things up to save your pride. Oh, Judy, dear, it'd hurt a great deal more to find out later that you should have broken up and didn't.
Oh, I wish it had never happened.
Well, it did. And you won't believe this, but it may not be the worst thing that ever happened. This quarrel today, it brought out some things about Jim that have been bothering you, and obviously some things about you that have been bothering him. Now, if you two could just talk these things over.
Oh, I wouldn't have the nerve.
I know. Most people are afraid to be completely honest with each other. But you'll have to be eventually.
What if we couldn't work things out? What if I couldn't get him to change?
Judy, it's hard enough to change yourself. How can you ever expect to change someone else? But your father still takes off his shoes every time he sits down. If you don't want to change, dear, or don't want to live with Jim just the way he is, well, that's why engagements are broken.
Mother, I didn't know you minded Daddy slipping off his shoes.
Some things you make up your mind to accept whether you like them or not. Other things your husband may accept, but on the same basis, whether he likes them or not. You can't depend on his feelings really changing. One thing your father makes me accept is that he won't wait for his meals. Let me know if you need me.
Oh, I feel awful. Could you come over? I've got to talk to you.
Almost like strangers, Judy and Jim confront each other. In a way, they are strangers. Two real people have replaced the romantic visions they used to see. Time has brought her to the point of admitting to herself, this person is not perfect. I am not perfect. Time has brought him to the point of asking, can I live with her imperfections? Can she live with mine? If they can face these facts and questions honestly, their love is probably real. Physical attraction is backed by enough respect and similarity of values to build a lasting relationship. The engagement is what an engagement should be, a period of romance and reality. How long does it take to get to this point? How long should you date before marriage? The answer to that differs with every couple. The point is, it takes time. It takes conscious effort to discover reality in the midst of romance. When you become engaged, what qualities, good or bad, will you look for in the one you love?
The last big dance of the year is over. Tonight is the most wonderful spring night you ever knew, Sally. The air is so soft, and Hank is such a nice guy.
Let's go up to Mountain Park for a while and look at the moon. We can turn off at Hatfield.
Let's decide when we get to Hatfield. All right?
Okay.
You could have impulsively answered yes or no. Why didn't you, Sally? Was it because you have learned to recognize when your own emotions want to take over? It wasn't too long ago when you started to think about your emotions objectively. There was that day in class. Hank was there, too.
May I have your attention, please? You are wondering what today's lesson will be about. Today's lesson in psychology is going to be about emotions. Now, we all start with a primary set, and as we grow older, we acquire more of them. We've all read about Bluebeard's closet and Pandora's box. Most of us know the fascination of locked places and hidden things. That fascination is probably the emotional side of our curiosity. Would you like to know what's in the box? All right. Why don't you come up around the table?
Where did you go? One to the train station.
Oh, gee. You've just experienced emotion. Unreasoning, illogical emotion. Think now. Do you think that I'd turn loose a poisonous snake in the classroom? Only association would cause you to feel the emotion of fear at the sight of a harmless snake. Emotion can so work on us that under its stimulus, we may sometimes perform feats of almost superhuman strength. Now, would you like to come up around the table and see what's in the second box? Most of you now plainly show the results of emotional conditioning. A box held a snake. You don't like snakes. So now you associate a box with a snake, or with some possible danger. Many experiences condition us emotionally. A bitten child may fear a dog, or a howling dog may make us feel lonely. A train whistle at night, the ticking of an old clock, a word may bring an emotional response.
Those puppies reminded you of your own Cappy. Cappy rarely changes his feelings toward you. He's friendly and loyal, and you feel the same way toward him. You wouldn't tolerate anyone hurting a single hair of his shaggy coat. Yet how quickly your emotions changed while walking with Cappy that afternoon. You saw the familiar convertible rolling by. Hank was smiling. There was an attractive girl beside him. A stranger. She sat so close to him, she was practically in his lap. How could he, the deceitful... You yanked poor Cappy along behind you. The Cappy you love. You were hurt, furious, and indignant all at once. You were jealous. You felt completely alone, deserted. Any other time, you would have been the first at the phone, just in case it was Hank. But now jealousy had swept away your common sense. Fortunately, your mother has a sense of humor. And you hoped Hank never found out what a fool your emotions had made of you. You came to realize what your parents mean to you. How pleasant the feeling of emotional security is. The mutual love and respect you all share and take for granted. Loving others and being loved is a good feeling. A feeling everyone wants to share. Then there was the night your schoolmates shared a different, ugly emotion. Hate. Everybody was whooping it up at the rally. The excitement about the coming game built up to a frenzy of enthusiasm. Then someone started a whispered rumor that twisted excitement into something else. What made them pick that particular teacher's house? What reason did anyone have to start such a thing? As a stone smashed the window, you saw how hysteria turns individuals into a mob. You were amazed to see sudden impulses rob normally decent people of their values. That night, you and Hank kept your emotional balance and remained rational. So you learned that it isn't always easy to think things out in the heat of the moment. And you'll never forget that day in the fencing class, Sally, when you found out how uncontrollable and intense emotion can be. Your opponent's dogged parrying seemed perfect, tireless. Again and again, she moved just a little faster than you. Your intense frustration boiled up inside you and then suddenly erupted into white anger. You wanted to injure her, and then caught control of yourself. It left you sick to your stomach, and even now you wince when you think of it. No, you never want to feel that way again, Sally. It wasn't easy learning to stop and think things out when strong emotion possesses you. But that's the real test of whether you are learning to handle your emotions.
Let's just go on home, shall we, Hank?
You're the boss.
You're sure you won't mind?
Of course I mind.
You've learned through experience that no matter how deep the emotion is, you don't have to let it take you over. You have come to realize that by bringing calm reasoning to emotional questions, your decisions will be what you really want them to be. You're starting to think about your emotions, Sally, and you are on the way toward emotional maturity.
Did you ever have to make a meal in 20 minutes, literally from the time you entered the kitchen until the meal was ready to serve? Well, Sally Gasco did once, when the schedule for a before-supper football game and an after-supper movie got a little confused. She wasn't in too much of a hurry, though, and you should never be, to wash her hands thoroughly before starting to prepare the meal. Because Sally is rapidly learning homemaking, she knows most of the basic techniques of good kitchen behavior and knows how to use the tools of the craft. But to get a meal in a hurry, something more is required. In this case, a little intelligent pre-preparation. In a convenient corner of the Gasco kitchen is an emergency shelf of canned and packaged goods appropriate to a quick meal. Here's where Mother also tucks away a spare collection of cleansers. The foods include canned soup, cooked meats, stews, any good packaged food which will keep indefinitely. Sally decides upon corned beef hash and hot date pudding for dessert. Other ingredients for the meal, corn on the cob and green peas, will come from the frozen food storage compartment of the refrigerator. The Gascos keep this shelf full of the modern frozen foods, which are not only useful in general, but especially so for quick meals. The basic meal, the hash, corn, peas, with a little cheese to spark up the flavor of the hash, are spread out on the work shelf along with the utensils she will need. Time to go to work. High time, even. 3 minutes suffice to get all the packages open and the contents out in pans and cooking. Another convenient thing to remember in this quick cookery is that vegetables are best to eat and best for you if they are cooked a minimum length of time. In the case of frozen vegetables, the time is even shorter. The pudding goes into the oven, where it will warm slightly while they are eating the main course. Sally will serve it with cream. There's no time for fancy sauces. How's the time going? Well, fast, but not too fast. It's time to serve, and Sally is going to be able to keep that 6 o'clock deadline, mostly, to be honest, because of intelligent marketing, rather than any great show of speed right now. While she's serving, we might remember, as she's doing, how it's possible to cook a meal quickly. knowing how to handle the equipment involved in cooking, to use the utensils deftly, and to use them for the purpose for which they were designed is a matter of practice and a question of technique. When the need of the moment is for fast, efficient cooking, a modern gas range can be the most important piece of equipment in the kitchen. "6 o'clock, and there we are." It's possible to make a meal in 20 minutes if, first, you're well grounded in good kitchen techniques and have the right tools with which to work at the time. And second, if you're foresighted enough to purchase and keep in a special emergency shelf in your cupboard and the storage shelf of your refrigerator a good supply of those modern foods which have taken most of the terrors out of cooking against a deadline.
Make mine a donut.
Mike Hanlon was the sort of person you'd expect to have many friends. He had a pleasing personality. He played football well enough to be on the team. He studied hard enough, yet he wasn't a grind. He could have had friends, yet Mike was one of the loneliest boys in school. Not that Mike didn't want friends. On the contrary, he wanted very much to feel that he belonged. But he made the mistake of noticing a particular group of boys, Jack, Dick, and Paul. He wanted to belong to that particular gang, to speak their language.
Hiya, fellas. Quiz today, but I don't think it'll be too rough. You know, I'd like to get a
Make
beer.
mine a donut.
I suppose these are not even half over, and he's already...
Mike felt left out. But worse than that, Mike worried so much about the gang that he missed many chances to make other friends.
Oh, Mike.
Hi.
Oh, here's the book I borrowed from you. It helped a lot. Thanks.
Okay.
Now, Eddie, for example. Eddie took his friends as he found them. He knew that particular gang, too, but our story is about Mike, and Mike felt left out. Now, Mike wasn't one to give up easily. He took every opportunity to try to get into the gang.
Hiya, fellas.
That's pretty good. The French jack. I like the other one.
Oh,
that's the little boy. Oh, that's the little boy. That's one I like. When they're going along, the bullets are going by.
But it was no use. It seemed the gang was always around, at the soda fountain with their dates, sharing some special private fun.
I had to rough pressure. He used to put the class in an uproar.
Mike kept on thinking of the gang and forgetting anyone else who might be his friend. After a time, the others gave up with Mike.
We got to invite Jack and Dick and Paul and their dates. Oh, hi, Mike.
Hiya, fellas.
And Bill and, of course, Gene and...
Yes, Mike really was left out. Well, that day in gym class, Mike made one more attempt to get in the gang.
here once, huh? Come on, let's see the ball. Come on, give me a turn. Hey, come on, toss it here once. Come on.
Come on, get it in there.
Pretty close friends, aren't they? Too close. Those guys don't want anybody except themselves. Well, what a conceited bunch.
You know, Mike, it isn't just Dick and Jack and Paul. A lot of folks do the same thing. A lot of teenagers especially. Because this is the age when it's most important to feel that you belong, have friends. And folks are sometimes so afraid of being left out that they get together in little cliques and shut the door. It's rather an immature reaction, but it's typical.
Yeah, but it's rough on the guys that are left out.
Yes, it is. And a great many people do feel left out.
What can they do? What can I do?
You're a level-headed boy, Mike. Half your problem is solved when you ask that question.
But what? How can I?
You're going to do something about it. You're going to take the responsibility. That's good. Now let's think about what people do when they feel left out. You can think of a lot of examples. One person may simply force his way into the group. As far as he's concerned, that is. He's in for a horrible snubbing, though, if the group won't accept him.
Well, that doesn't work, busting in. I know that.
Another left out may form a group of his own and try to make it still more exclusive, still more snobbish than the first. Someone else may feel that she's a social failure and give up trying to have friends at all. Still another may try to attract the notice of others by exaggerated dress or manner. And still another may simply forget about the group. He'll make friends with individuals as he finds them, whether they're in the group or not. And I suppose there are a lot of other ways of reacting when you feel left out.
Oh, I can see which one you think is best, though.
But which one do you think is best? Think it over, Mike. Come to some decisions about what you're going to do. If you let that left-out feeling throw you, you'll pick the wrong answers.
Well, there's good advice. If you feel left out, forget about the gang. Wake up to your opportunities of making friends with individuals. It isn't easy to change your whole attitude, especially when you can't help running into the clique from time to time. There they are, and here you are. Well, say, who's that, sitting alone? No harm in going over, getting acquainted.
Hi, I'm Mike Hanlon.
Jerry Mortensen. Say, I've seen you around. You own a motorbike, don't you?
Yeah, but it isn't running.
What's the matter, ignition trouble?
Well, I don't know. Say, do you know anything about, can you fix...
I like to tinker around with them.
Well, say, that's swell. How's about coming over, say, Saturday?
Sure. Afternoon?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, perhaps it isn't always quite so easy to make a new friend. But just a little effort can bring you friends. And then you begin to forget about feeling left out. But one friend isn't enough. Yes, you can make friends without joining a clique.
Hi, Grace. Can I have a ticket, please? One? Yes, one. All right. Thank you. Oh, Mike, will you come here, please?
Hiya, Grace. How's business?
Oh, pretty good. I've got to go to lunch. Could you take over the ticket sales for me?
Well, sure. Wait till I get the fellas. I'll be right back.
The fellas. Could that mean a new clique?
Thanks, Alan.
Okay. Hi, Mike.
Oh, hi, Coach.
Hey, fellas, come here a minute.
How are things going?
Swell, great. Everything's just wonderful.
So I see.
And I tried her out last night, this new carburetor. I gimmied it up, and I tried her out my bike last night. Boy, I revved her up and zoom around the corner. I set the carburetor just right for that extra pickup.
You don't know the half of it. With those new spark plugs I got in that generator, I'll race you from a dead start any time.
You're on. Get a load of them, Mike.
Just a minute. How many, Paul?
2, please.
Thanks.
That's right. Don't lock yourself up in a new clique. Make friends with individuals. There will be many opportunities if you look for them. Well, Mike is no longer the loneliest boy in school. But has he really gotten over feeling left out of the clique?
Wasn't the play wonderful, though? Artie sure is a ham, isn't he?
Oh, no, I think he's pretty good. That bunch. They get on your nerves the way they do mine.
Oh, I don't know.
They could have asked us along. They knew we were going.
Well, you can't get 4 couples in one car.
Oh, it's not that at all. They're just too stuck up.
Well, it doesn't matter. Besides, I like to walk. I'm with the right company. But to get back to the play...
Hi, kids. What do you have?
Would you like a hamburger?
I think so.
You know, Mike is on the way to social maturity. He's no longer concerned about the gang. He's concentrating on individuals, having a good time. Mike will get into activities and projects where he'll be doing worthwhile things, where he'll feel he belongs. He'll spend some of his time with some friends and some time with other friends. And he'll take every opportunity to make new friends.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Hi, Eddie.
Say, can I see you for a second?
Well, sure. Come on over to the locker.
Say, a bunch of us are getting up a big weenie roast.
Yeah?
A week from this Saturday. How about you coming, bring a girl?
Well, sure. That'd be swell.
Yeah,
Thanks a
great.
lot, Eddie. Thanks an awful lot.
Hey, come